Creativity is an interesting thing. I remember the first time I put something real into the world. This is way back in MySpace times. Yes, that means I'm old. 33. I can take it. It's alright. There's a random person, he left a random comment that it was an original, and there was something along the lines of that I can't just sit and write whatever I look out of the window and see. And the leaves are coming down. I'll wait for you to come back home. It was something like that. I remember the first two lines were something like that. And I remember I was super obsessed with Damien Rice at the time. So, folk singer-songwriter, that's my dude, one of the pillars of when I was learning how to write and how to be a guitar player. Not that he's a crazy shredder, there's just something about the way that he interpreted music from the heart that really meant something. So I remember I made the song, and somebody wrote in the comments that they could not, you can't just write whatever you see out of your bedroom window. And I felt a little sting from that, but then there was more that they wrote about that I did not have a creative bone in my body. Like there was something a little bit more visceral that was not necessarily, it wasn't necessary to have there. And I remember what that feeling was. And I was probably 15-year-old kid thinking that this person, this keyboard warrior on the other side of the screen had some value or something to give to life, when really that person was maybe even acting out of their own frustration with their own creative process. They just wanted to spew something vitriolic into the world. And I just happened to be in the target. I just happened to be in the spray as all that was going on. I remember what that did to my own creativity. I remember what it did to the spark that I had inside, and how I felt like I didn't want to share anything with the world after that. Just because, like, what do I have to say? It's just a 15-year-old kid. What have I experienced? What do I have to offer? Later on, I would come to grips with what creativity really is, what my own voice really means, all of that. But to think about what the impact of that single statement had on me from some stranger that I've never seen before and never would come in contact with, it's kind of staggering. Don't build a house in boxes of past mistakes. You sift through them with your bare hands and leave with splinters and blood stains. Setting fire to the past revives me, 'cause it never burns the same. Turn the lock and hide the key. The place is always changing, love. The feeling never changes, no, no. The feeling never changes. Feeling free. Feeling free. I built a world, ghosts and marble walls. Heard men say love will find a way, but not before the fall. Know my pride and I know my passion never burns the same. Turn the lock and hide the key. The place is always changing, love. The feeling never changes, no. The feeling never changes. Feeling free. Feeling free. I won't swallow the pill like there's nowhere else to build. All in all, I kept writing though. I kept writing those crappy songs. It's just what you got to do. And writing something that felt real to me at the time. And so after a while, that act of continuous creation, it manifested itself with some good things that happened later on. I remember the opposite situation happening when I was in college, and being able to experience something. This was during a jazz arranging class, and I had a small combo, 4 or 5 musicians. We were all playing music together, and I was able to put something down that felt like me, that felt like it made sense. Like I could hear a jazz combo playing this. So I was just messing around with the guys and playing this tune that I had wrote. I was like, hey, I got a thing I want to show you guys. And we played it together, and hearing something come to fruition that was in my head, only existed in my head, and then able to be portrayed in a real way. Like, that was nuts. I remember my professor coming in, and in the middle of us practicing, just kind of messing around on it, he heard it, and instead of saying, like, put that away, okay, let's get to work, he pulled me aside and he told me that that piece is going to be on the next concert. I mean, that was kind of a gamble. That was a big gamble. I was just a kid, and I didn't know necessarily what I was doing. That was really cool and very formative for me as a sophomore in college, not knowing what I was doing. And that kind of boost had the opposite reaction from what my previous experience with writing did. And the power of somebody's words is something that should be taken to heart, because it seems like it's just a small idea, but there's really so much more that's going on there. I think about that with the students that I teach. I think about that with the music that I write, that words do have meaning and words do have value. The crux of that is to keep creating and to keep doing something that brings life and something that means something that has value. The power of words. It's a simple concept, but I feel like it's something that we need to place some value in.